See, I'm on this radio show and I'm hearing all these people talking about, I'm not voting if they're not doing nothing for us. Listen to me. If you do not vote, the analytics will show. They know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't vote, how we gonna ask for something next time? If you ain't got no voting power, you talk about reparations. Ain't nobody finna give you no reparations and you don't vote? Well, you think they finna give us some money? No, man. I hope they do. They owe us. I'll go down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, what y'all just heard in that 37-second clip is exactly why I am on neither side of the aisle when it comes to these political parties. Don't try to convince me and sway me to be on the left. Don't try to convince and sway me to be on the right. What do I tell you? Two wings attached to the same buzzer. So this clip that you just saw was of Steve Harvey. He was interviewing Kamala Harris at this conference. I'm not exactly sure what the conference was, but apparently it's their 38th conference based on some images that I saw. I don't know exactly what it was. But in this clip right here, he basically said that we need to go out and vote if we have a chance of wanting to have reparations be on the table. No, here's the thing. We've been saying for the last few years and demanding reparations be on the table, and every single time that it's brought up, it gets shot down. Not from just one side, but both sides. And he sits up there and he speaks lightly about it. I mean, you even heard how he ended it. He tried to end it in a very joking manner. And he's telling this to a woman who, remember a couple years ago when she was interviewed back in was it 2020 or before then, when she was asked about reparations and what her response was then when somebody said something about reparations. What did she say? Oh, I'm not going to do anything that's going to specifically benefit black people. No. And you want us to vote that back in? Well, not I, because clearly, definitely won't be coming from me because I'm all for the couch. But you want that to get back in. We always say that the demands need to be met before we check yes on that ballot. And they have not done anything to earn our vote ever. And you have Steve up here doing the same thing that Roland Wet Yam Martin and Slick Back Al Sharpton and all the others on that side literally try to tell us to do or try to make us feel bad because we're not supporting or voting a particular person. Steve, you're sitting up there with a woman that literally said she wasn't going to do anything specifically for black people. I do hope you know that that includes you, but not that he would need to benefit from it completely, because as far as it's being shown, Steve has already gotten his. So I'm not shocked that he took this stance. This man already has hundreds of millions of dollars to his name. He's good. Whether we get reparations or not, which I'm saying now we will get, he's going to be fine regardless. So of course he's going to have this very standoffish tone as well. I got mine, I guess you got to get up and get yours. And that's the stance right there. It comes from a very selfish, arrogant place with a person like Steve Harvey. But why am I not surprised? Remember, Cat Williams talked about Steve Harvey in the beginning of the year on Club Shay Shay. But many people already knew of how Steve Harvey got down anyway, even before that. And what makes this very interesting is when I went on X to retrieve this clip, I was looking at some other ones. Now, this is actually a 37-second clip of a longer clip that's about almost 2 minutes long. I just didn't want to bore you with the almost 2 minutes one. But the one that I saw that was almost 2 minutes long, I was looking in the comment section, and of course the usual suspects were in there basically saying the same thing over and over again when it comes to reparations. Oh, we shouldn't have to pay for anything our ancestors did. Oh, they're not going to get anything. I don't know how they're going to get it. I even saw one in there saying something across the lines of, oh, Steve Harvey, I used to like him, but not anymore. The same old thing. But then he could turn right back around and say, I support Trump, and they'll be like, oh my God, Steve Harvey, you're such a patriot. They are so fake. They are so fake. It's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, that's the usual suspects for you. But I'm not surprised by this, and it's crazy because I think somebody was telling me about this clip, but I didn't know where to go find it, and then someone sent it to me, and it's I believe Willie D had did a commentary on it, and then that led me to go to X to find this video, and sure enough, it's a few of them on there. So Steve Harvey is telling us black people, us foundational black Americans, don't you dare ask for reparations or demand reparations if you don't plan on voting. Well, here's the thing. We've been voting for God knows how long and still haven't gotten anything yet. No, this is the point now where we're withholding our votes. And this also tells you that Steve Harvey, a person of his ilk or a person who's in a certain tax bracket, is hearing what we're saying. Grassroots always is going to make the most noise no matter what. You can go on the grassroots level, you're going to hear us all the way in space. The fact he even brought that up means that he's been listening, or at the very least been watching. If he hasn't been listening, he's been seeing what we've been saying. That's why I've been saying for the longest time, they watch us. The people you think don't watch us, they do. They just may not acknowledge us by name. They may not say the new black media either, but that's fine, because eventually the verbiage that we've been saying is going to get said by them or some other higher up platform. Remember what I told you about Simone Linebacker Built? That one time I just happened to be passing through and she was on and I heard her say the couch, and that made my ears perk up. I was like, hold up. Did Simone just say the couch as it pertained to voting? Now, in that moment, that's when I knew she watched us, or somebody close to her watches us, and they relayed that to her because she mentioned the couch and she knew what it meant because she mentioned the words vote in that same category. So they watch us. They watch us. They know we're around, and they know how effective we are as well. And that scares them as well. Because see, they had the tap dance and do the Sambo shuffle to get where they are, and we didn't even have to do an ounce of that, and we are making leaps and bounds and laps around their talking points. And that scares the hell out of them. And you know what? It probably should, especially if you are as off code as Steve Harvey. This man has been unfunny and off code for so long. The joke about him is the fact that he thinks he's good at telling jokes. Many people can tell you that he's one of the most unfunny people in the room. The only thing that kinda is funny by him is when he's hosting Family Feud. That's the only time you will probably get a chuckle out of people watching him. Of course, there are some people out there that think he's funny, but no, the people around him are funny. Ask anybody who they thought was the best on the Kings of Comedy. Ask anybody who they felt was the best characters on the Steve Harvey Show, a show named after him where he wasn't even the primary draw. You gotta really think about that. He had to put people around him in order for his show to last as long as it did, because without that, it probably would have failed after 1, maybe 2 seasons. Let's be really honest with ourselves here. But I'm not shocked by this at all. Like I said, Steve Harvey has been very off code for a long time. And listen also to the toning that he used when he said what he said in that video. It was one of those talk down. You know, they like to do that a lot, especially those who are of, I guess you can say, high stature. They love to talk down on black people like we are petulant children, like we can't understand what's going on in this political space, as if we have to use building blocks in order to try to figure out what's going on. No, we know what the hell is going on. And shout out to Kid Gravity, because he's like our go-to when it comes to politics. This guy really knows what he's talking about and has been right and accurate about a lot of this stuff. He's bringing up November the 5th, and honestly, a lot of stuff has been happening before November 5th. So you can only imagine what it's going to be like when November 5th actually gets here. People are about to be put on their ass. I mean, really. Some are already there. Some need to start packing.